Hey, Cassie here, lead goddess at Zendao. I'm hopping on to talk to you a little bit about the blog post that I shared this week, which is all about the cardinal directions, so north, east, south, west, and how to use them in magic and in your ritual practice. So if you already have the ritual deck, they are a part of the ritual deck. If you don't, you can grab it, or you can read the blog to learn a little bit more about how you can use this as a tool in ritual. So each cardinal direction has its own meaning and significance that you can use as kind of like an added layer to your ritual or spell work. So north kind of represents the physical body, east represents new beginnings, south represents challenges, and west is dealing with emotions. So if you're practicing a ritual that deals specifically with one of these topics, then it can be really helpful to face in that direction and kind of call in the energy of that direction while you work in that ritual. There are other ways to use the cardinal directions in ritual besides that. That's kind of like the easy way. So if you're practicing a ritual for the new moon, you're working on new beginnings, the obvious direction to face when you do that ritual is east, because east is all about transmission and new beginnings and kind of downloading new ideas. But another way that it's used in ritual is as a form of protection. And one kind of way to explain this is called calling the quarters. So calling the quarters is, think of it as calling in each of the four directions, the four cardinal directions. And it kind of gives them a physical feel. So you can even imagine each direction as a god or a goddess, kind of as this wind blowing in. So if you're practicing a ritual and it's something that you feel like you might need an extra layer of protection for, this is a good time to use this is when you're practicing rituals that involve psychic work. Because anytime you're practicing psychic work, you're kind of opening yourself up to the spirit world, and you might just feel like you need a little bit more protection. So that's a great opportunity to use the cardinal directions and call the quarters. So I talk more about how to do this on the blog, but quickly, the way to do this is you'll face each direction before you begin your ritual and call in the energy of the north winds, the energy of the east winds, south, west. So this also has a lot to do with the four elements. The cardinal directions and the four elements are very closely connected. So you can read more about the connections between the cardinal directions and the four elements on the blog, because each one corresponds with an element. So that's another layer to it. So you can see all of these magical tools, they all kind of intertwine and overlap, which is why I created the ritual deck, because it kind of helps make it a little bit more manageable, because otherwise it just seems like, what are all these crazy things and how do they interact and play with each other? So if you have the deck, you can even see on the cards they have the correspondences. So north, the correspondence is earth, so it's got the little earth symbol on there. So another handy tool of the ritual deck, but again, like I said, all of that information is also on the blog. So I don't know if you have a swipe up feature on IGTV, so if there's not, you can just hop over to our page, our bio page, and click the link there. If there is a way for me to link the blog here, then I will do that as well. So I hope you enjoyed these tips about the cardinal directions. If you have any questions about them, of course, just let me know. Bye.